first met Maka when we were getting ready to leave to go to Samoa for our Peace Corps service for 2 years. I thought Maka was some, kind of, maybe a little like a hippie, I don't know. So I got a bottle of wine and I said, hey, I'm gonna get some crackers and we're gonna drink some wine and just have a nice time in the lobby. Anyways, I even wrote this in my journal. Some guy named Mark showed up with a bottle of wine and some brie. So, by chance, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, you're not such a weird hippie after all. Next, we're on a plane flying to Samoa on something like a 38-hour flight, anyway, pretty much the whole time, chatting away. 2 stewards that were coming, Bob and Greg. And they kept coming over, Bob came, and Greg, and they were so nice and friendly, we thought they were great. Maka just jumps right into song. Bob, 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 Bob.
Hey, Greg.
Bob, 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 Bob.
Hey, Greg.
Bob, Bob and Greg. Don't pull my leg. Some other volunteers from that flight, and they might remember and say, like, shut up. You're trying to sleep. You are ridiculous. What did you go to kindergarten together? It turned into less like really good friends, more like almost brothers, because I was really annoyed by him a lot of the time. Like that. Then Group 77 came in, a new group. Yeah, sure. And my buddy, my giggle buddy, all of a sudden changes, and he's looking at this girl that just came in. I think he looked at a picture on a computer. I was like, oh, who is that? Who is that? What he changed? He completely changed. He said, I'm gonna ask that girl on a date. He never asked any girl on any date or anything like that. I'm not trying to get into his, love life or anything like that. It's non-existent. Anyway. He said, well, it was really good. We had food, and then when we were talking, and then the movie started, but we didn't go. And we kept on talking, and I was like, really? Some girl listened to you for 4 hours straight? Anyways, I thought I would check out Molly for myself, get to know her a little bit, have a conversation with the girl, play her nose flute, which is this clay instrument I'd never seen much. She said, it's a nose flute. You just stick it in your nose and close the other nostril. And so I'm in there, and it was great, but it gave me a nose fungus, which didn't go away for I don't know how long. It sounds strange, but if you know Samoa, these things happen. I knew Maka before and also after Molly, and I'd have to say that he is 10 times happier now than when he was before, and he was a happy guy to begin with. Ole ainga o Molly, tau ona fia, ona ole tama o Maka, to tusa male sola whanua. Oh my goodness, I missed an important part of this speech. I'm backing it up. All right, I'm backing it up. Let me say one thing. Anyways, we went on a bike ride around the island, and there's this massive hill. I couldn't make it up the hill. I was sweating. I was ready to just pass out, honestly, like trying to find pieces of shade. And Maka said, come on, let's go. And this massive hill, we find the hill. I said, Maka, I can't make it. He's somewhat of a Boy Scout, I guess. He pulls 25 feet of rope out of his backpack. I don't know where it came from. He tied my handlebars to the back of his bike on the rack, and he pedaled up the hill, carrying me. I'm like 190 pounds, and he carried me up the hill. It was really amazing, and I got to say, all the Samoans were looking on like, I have never seen that before. Doesn't the bull usually carry the person? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Maka is the same as a good horse in that he's loyal, he's hardworking, he'll never leave it, and when Molly is weak or tired, he will carry her up a hill or wherever he needs to. And that's what I mean with horse country. May Maka and Molly be as happy for the rest of their lives as they are today. Manuia.
Soifua! Cheers.
First of all, I'd like to say it's not fair. I shouldn't have to go after Lockie. So not cool. Anyway, I've known Molly for 7-ish.
7.5 years.
we're getting too old to count. We've known each other for a while. Molly, she was with a couple people, and she was just this quiet, pretty girl, just kind of sitting there. And I was like, who is she? I wonder what's going on. I remember the music class was like 8 people. So eventually I got to know her, and I realized that she's not quiet or a little peaceful at all. I had a toaster oven. She didn't have like a real oven. So you do lots of things in the toaster that maybe you shouldn't. And I was trying to make something. I can't remember what. Grilled cheese. It should not be that difficult, right? You have to make grilled cheese. Apparently I can't. And suddenly little smoke and flames appear inside the toaster oven. And, you know, I'm an adult. I'm capable, maybe. And so, no, I stare at the fire going, ah, Molly, 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 Molly. That's all I do the whole time. Molly comes running, thinks something horrible is happening, and she realizes it's just the toaster. She walks over calmly, unplugs it, and looks at me like, you couldn't do that? So she saved the day. Liz was our roommate. She's the blonde over there talking. And so she noticed this happen, and instead of talking to us about it or anything, she just decides to appear the next day with 3 fire extinguishers. We only had 2 rooms. Another roommate, Adrian, here. Adrian, say hi. Adrian has fish, and this one makes Molly look a little more funny. So the fish decided to do
Kamikaze.
a kamikaze. He just jumped out of the tank and fell on the floor. Well, I wasn't looking because I'm oblivious, and Adrian was talking or something, and so Molly just points and says, fish, 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 and she can't do anything else. So she's jumping up and down, she's pointing, she's yelling, and we're looking at her like, you're insane. So finally, Adrian figures it out, turns around, picks up the fish, puts it back in the tank, and it's all better. I told Molly something when she left for Samoa. I told her that, no, you can't go to Samoa. She said, why? I said, I know you're going to have a lot of fun, but you're going to meet a Samoan guy, and you're going to be married, and I'll never see you again. And she says, oh, no, I won't do that. I don't need a boyfriend. I'm just going to go to Samoa and be in Peace Corps and do my thing.
She told me the same.
No, about this guy named Maka that she's met. And I was like, all right, I'm picturing a big Samoan man. Because this is what I was expecting. You know, big, handsome, nice shoulders, dark Samoan man. So this is what I'm expecting. She tells me about Maka. She tells me all these stories about cats and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I meet them, and he's this white, scrawny guy. He is amazingly caring. I've seen her in friendships with girls, guys, whoever, and no one has ever looked at her the way that he looks at her. And I'm rather protective, and I will tell you that's just the only one that I'm completely comfortable with. And we were always Molly and Marissa, and I'm really happy to be able to pass that on and have it Molly and Maka, because they are absolutely amazing, and they are perfect for each other, and I wish them all the best. To Molly and Maka.
Take the opportunity to say a few words. To you, Molly, my firstborn and the apple of my eye. And to Maka, the Prince Charming, who swept her off her feet, captured her heart. And I hope that from this day forward, in every joy and sorrow, you will continue to look to each other in love as you do today. Is that I'm absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to meet Maka's loving family. It's very nice to have you here. And I welcome you, Maka, into our family, you know, such as it is. And God bless your union together and grant you patience and peace and perseverance and all of that. To Molly and Maka.
Ladies and gentlemen, the groom, Mark Henderson, would love to speak.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a speech. I'm usually a very prepared guy. One thing that really blew my mind about the wedding itself is that it wasn't a wedding where we kind of hire some folks and they just do everything for us. But instead, maybe because of budget, we actually had many of you provide so many of the exciting parts of this wedding. And I'm going to do one big, overwhelming thank you, and especially even those who were local really chipped in, those who came from thousands of miles. I mean, sometimes the drives were as long as the flights. Thank you so much for making it all the way here. And then, of course, I want to thank my beautiful bride, who has made me the happiest man in the world.
Aww.